Alright, so now we're just going to do a quick review of the motherboard cables. To start off, we have the, I believe this is a general USB power cable.
Yes,
So,
that is the cable that operates these USBs over here.
Yes, the front USBs. So this is case specific and whatnot. You should have this looking thing where it has a tooth on the top that should denote which side it plugs in, and you shouldn't have any issues. Then we have this big power box, which is for the main, what is it, for your main SATA thing. It's pretty locked in there, so you shouldn't have any issues with it. Alright, over here, around where the SATA, where the RAM is, you can see, on the motherboard itself, you can see that it has names for each of the power and what they're powering, pretty much. With that, and then with the actual motherboard, manual, you'll be able to figure out which cables you actually want to plug in where. So here we have a system fan plugging in, and if you followed this all the way back, you would see that it leads to this fan over here, which is just a case fan. So that's what it means by system fans. Alright, so here we have the SATA cables again. Over here on this side, these are front-facing USB cables. You can see they're like LEDs and whatnot. They have specific components, but pretty much they run from the case to this slot right here.
The thing is, if these tiny cables over here get unplugged, which can seem like a lot, they all do just have a name on them, and then there's a little diagram right below you can see that says the same thing. So like if you look on the other side, flip it around,
yeah,
it says like power LED plus. You just have to plug it into the spot that the diagram describes, and you'll be good.
And that might be a little tedious, but once they're locked in, they're pretty in there.
Yeah, that just makes sure all the buttons on the case work just right.
Alright, so over here we have another cable that leads into audio. So you have your P audio. So this just plugs in right there. It's a pretty thick cable that's coming from somewhere, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, and then over on this side, we have the Intel, the cooling fan. I believe this might have some give in it, but overall, it's actually attached via a hard cross screws that are mounted directly into the motherboard.
Yeah, and you really don't want to let that get out of place. You don't need to touch the screws or anything.
This is
it might, if you need to move the motherboard, it might seem like it's in the way, but you really just want to leave it be.
Yeah. All right. So if you look here, this here is a cable that's leading from the fan directly to another sys fan component, and then the CPU fan has a cable that's leading directly into a CPU fan on the motherboard. If any of those seem unplugged or unoccupied, then refer to the manual, and they'll make you should be able to figure out which ones are supposed to be where.
Which basically, the ones on the case go to ones that say sys fan. The one on this thing goes to the one that says CPU fan.